Hi everybody, it's Lily and welcome to my Camp NaNoWriMo Week 1 writing update. Try saying that 5 times fast. I originally wasn't going to do writing updates for Camp NaNoWriMo. It honestly just hadn't even really crossed my mind to do them, but my last video actually ended up getting many more views than I thought it would. So if people are interested, I would love to, let you know my thoughts about Camp NaNoWriMo and the process and how it's going. And I actually have a few things I wanted to talk about. I have found Camp NaNoWriMo to be, in some ways, quite a bit different than regular NaNoWriMo, so I thought I would share my thoughts with you about that and let you know how it's all going. I guess if you haven't seen my previous videos, Camp NaNoWriMo is an offshoot of regular NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. NaNoWriMo typically takes place in November, and the goal of that is to write 50,000 words in the month. Camp NaNoWriMo takes place in April, and for that it's much more freeform. For Camp NaNoWriMo, you are allowed to pick your own goal. So yeah, you can kind of do whatever you want for Camp NaNoWriMo. I think a lot of people, or at least some people, use this time to edit their nano novel. I'm not doing that, but there is one person in my group, actually I think it's the person who has the time goal, who is doing that. So for Camp NaNoWriMo, you can set your own goals, and it's a lot more sort of freeform than regular big NaNoWriMo. So for Camp NaNoWriMo, one of the biggest differences to regular NaNoWriMo is that you have the option to be placed in what are called cabins. They have it set up so that it kind of feels like going to camp, like a summer camp or whatever. It's sort of set up as like a writing retreat, but you just do it from your home. And in your cabin, you can either be friends. There's different ways you can set up who your cabin mates are gonna be. I decided, since I don't really know anyone else who's doing Camp NaNoWriMo, that I would set my cabin up to be people who are around my age. Everyone in my cabin seems to be around their early 20s. And the second criteria that I had were people who were writing within a similar genre. So I think everyone in my cabin is doing some sort of fantasy. I'm doing YA fantasy, but I think others are just doing sort of adult fantasy or, whatever. So that's how I have my cabin set up. And at first, I didn't think that I was going to be very active in my cabin. It's not like we have a super active cabin as it is, but people do talk to each other, and I actually think it's really nice. And I've actually started to really enjoy having a cabin. The other difference that comes with having a cabin is that you can see all of your cabin mates' goals as well as their progress. So with regular NaNoWriMo, you can see what other people have written, the number of words, but you have to actively seek out their profile. Whereas with Camp NaNoWriMo, you see that under your cabin mate's information, which is sort of like on a sidebar on the page, kind of on the forum that you can all talk within. So for me, I actually find that to be really motivating. So I have the highest word count goal within my cabin. Like I said, I'm doing 40,000 words. I think most people in my cabin range between 10,000 and 25,000 words as their goals, which is totally fine. Like, I know 40,000 words is still a lot. It's only 10,000 less than regular NaNoWriMo. And everyone's different. Everyone has different times that they're able to allot to this. So, to each their own. So I have the highest word count goal, and for a while I felt a little smug because obviously with the higher word count goal, I have to write more per day. So my word counts were stacking up to be higher and higher, much faster than everyone else's, which, I don't know, made me feel kind of good. Even though, I was just right on track with my own goal. And I know that Camp NaNoWriMo is not supposed to be a competition with other people. It's sort of like, a competition with yourself. No one is competing to have the highest word count or anything like that, or to write the fastest. But I guess that's sort of my competitive streak coming out, because there are 2 other people in my cabin who, although they don't have the same word count goal as me, they're quite close in word count that they've already written. So for me, it kind of keeps me on my toes and keeps me writing. So one day last week, there was someone in our cabin who had asked, you know, for those doing this, how do you keep yourself motivated and how do you kind of get back on track when you've fallen behind? And there were a couple of different people who responded, you know, various things, but one of them was a fellow who said something along the lines of, you know, find someone with either a similar word count goal or something like that and try to catch them, try to chase their word count. And at first I was like, oh yeah, okay, you know, good way to do it. But then I realized that he is either trying to keep pace with me or this other girl in my cabin, and it kind of lit a fire under my butt, and I was like, there's no way I'm letting this guy beat me. I mean, not that it's a competition, but I was like, no, this is unacceptable. So I have been every day trying to write a little bit more than him. Dangerous territory, I know, because this could escalate and get way out of control if it is him if he is following me. But I guess that's my competitive streak coming out, because I will not stand for him beating me. Also because I just feel like he has a word count goal that's like at least 15,000 words less than mine. So if he is gonna do this and try to keep pace with me, I'm just like, dude, up your word count goal then, because I don't know, not that it matters, but like, I'm doing this, you know, for this word count goal. And so like, if you're gonna try to keep pace with me, at least have the same goal as me, because he's like almost, I think he has like 15,000 words to go, whereas I have like 30,000 words to go. I don't know, it doesn't really matter, but for some reason it kind of irks me. So anyway, that's helping keep me motivated. I have been doing, maybe not better than expected, but I'm keeping right on track, which I'm really happy about. There's only been one day, yesterday, Saturday the 8th, where I don't know, I just find it's hard to keep up with this on the weekend. Not that I really did anything yesterday, but it was just kind of like, I need a brain break. I am just not in the mood to write. I want to do something else. So I ended up writing for about a half an hour last night at around 11:30 because I was feeling really bad about not having written anything. And so I think I pounded out somewhere around 700 words last night. So not my goal, but I think it's about 600 words shy of my goal. But because I had done so well during the week, I had written more than my allotted word count every day. I'm actually still, even though I only did about half a day yesterday, I'm still ahead of where I have to be in order to be on track to finish on time. I think I still have a buffer about 400 words, so as long as I get everything written today, I should still be good to go. So yeah, it's actually going fairly well. I've enjoyed how this is going because, like I said, my kind of official goal is 40,000 words, but my unofficial goal is to finish my novel this month, a first draft. And so I feel like with this Camp NaNoWriMo, it's pushing me to just push the story forward. I'm not sort of getting mired down in the details, although they could be, you know, they're not unimportant, but it's just kind of like push the story along, get it going. You can always come back and add in more stuff later. And I already do see how once this is done, I'll probably end up cutting out maybe not significant portions, but you know, chunks from the beginning, which I don't really think are necessary anymore. And I think I almost just wrote them because just knowing that a standard novel is somewhere between about 70 and 100,000 words long, I was like, how on earth am I ever going to write that much now? That seems a little silly because I'm already at like 90,000 words and still have a ways to go. But, so I just think it's extraneous now and it doesn't really do anything for the plot. So I'll probably end up cutting some of that out and then coming back to this portion that I'm writing now and expanding it out and adding more detail later. But for now, the goal is just get it written, get it down on the page, get the story on there, and then we can come back and finesse it later. So that's where I'm at. It's going well. I'm enjoying it. It's been a fun time so far. And I hope I can keep the momentum up. I need to actually write today. I haven't done that yet. We were out, my family and I were out at Luray Caverns here in Virginia for a little day trip. It was a gorgeous day, so we thought we should get out. So I have been doing things today and that's why I haven't been writing, but I do need to sit down right now, which I will probably do right after filming this. So yeah, that's week 1 Camp NaNoWriMo. I will update you again at the end of this week. Hopefully I will have good news to report. If you're participating in Camp NaNoWriMo, let me know how it's going for you. I hope it's going well. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Bye.